the FBI all had prior warning that there was going to be an attack on the Capitol. They knew some of the people. They knew some of the things that were being said, even talk about killing cops, as tragically what happened. It was serious enough to warn the Joint Terrorism Task Force.
The president, after inciting a mob which attacked the Capitol, is traveling today to give remarks in Alamo, Texas this afternoon.
Repercussions. One is, how did the leaders of Congress react to this intel? Did it get to them? Did Nancy Pelosi know?
To get to healing, we need truth and we need accountability. I mean, people came to the Capitol building to try to launch a coup.
Secondly, if this was a planned attack, you can't be the President of the United States being accused of inciting a spontaneous attack when it was planned days before. Right.
Hey everybody, it's Everett with Ohio for Freedom. What is your favorite part of that executive order that the President signed in September of 2018? I know what mine is. I want to show it to you. Let's get started.
I hear the sweet sound of freedom, and I won't be
Okay, before I mention the usual housekeeping, let me just say it's okay. It's all right. Everything's under control. Everything is going to be just fine. So, please like, please share, please subscribe, please leave a comment, please hit the notifications bell on YouTube, and please go to ohioforfreedom.com and subscribe there on the video blog page. That's going to come in very, very handy, very, very shortly. And thank you for doing that. You are helping us overcome everything that big tech is trying to do to tiny little voices like this one, and it is appreciated so much. I want to say something about comments. We are going to talk about this executive order from 2018. We're going to talk about some newer executive orders, one of which went into effect on Monday. You've probably heard some about that, but I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about that, but I want to just simply say it is such a thrill to go through the comments that are left on this little page. And the last video that spoke about the universal lie, it is so encouraging to see that people aren't buying the lie. You guys aren't buying the lie. And what is the lie if this is your first time? Well, the lie that we were speaking of in that video is that all these Trump supporters went to Washington, D.C., and the president whipped them up, incited them to violence, and incited them to insurrection, and they went and they trashed the Capitol building. That's the lie. That's the lie that's being used as a pretense to try to 25th Amendment the president, and now they voted to impeach the president, and it's all supposedly predicated upon a big lie. But once again, this audience is not buying it. And there was one comment by Linda that I'm going to play, and I believe that she was using a cut and paste of someone else's comment, but she agreed with it, and I think it summed it up very, very well. I want to play it for you right now. Linda, you're spot on. When you think you've already won an election, you don't. Ban people from social media. Silence people's voices. Insist on impeachment with days left. Insist on the 25th Amendment, days left. Demand military to prevent the President of the United States of America from carrying on our military plans. That's not what a winning team does. That's what criminals do in panic mode. Copied from another post, but I wholeheartedly agree, and I agree with Linda. Linda, you're absolutely right. People that really believe they have won, and won as the one congressman was demanding that Jim Jordan say, "Won fair and square." They don't do those things. They don't do the censoring. They don't try to Amendment 25 and impeach and all of that. Folks, the left is very good at keeping a unified front. They're very good at that. They don't fracture. They stick together. They're very good at bluffing, but make no mistake, that is what they're doing. The left is scared. Did it ever occur to you that maybe the reason they're pushing for this impeachment is because they know they're guilty? They know what they've done. They know that at any moment, everything could come crashing down. That's what's going on, folks. That's what's going on. And the good news is that the general population that's paying attention. Now, yes, half of the population doesn't have a clue, and that's what's so bewildering about this for many of us. And then out of the ones that do have a clue, some of us are hopeful, and some of us are scared. If you're one of the scared ones, I don't want you to be scared by the time we get done today, okay? Because this is all okay. But the good news is that the truth is out there. And as regards, and I want to lay this thing about the 6 to rest here in just a moment, but this was also taken from comments on this channel. It's a little bit of video that I want to play, and I want you to get the information that's in this video, but also let it cause you to realize that people know what's going on. We are not being fooled. I'm going to play this for you, and it'll make sense.
There are allegations of incitement and collusion here as well, so the timeline is critically important. News organizations like the New York Times have done their own analysis of this timeline. Several other sources have confirmed this as well. At about 12:15, the rioters started walking towards the Capitol, and the president, at this point, was only 15 minutes into his speech. This is also when those pipe bombs were first reported at both the Republican National Committee headquarters and the DNC's HQ. Now, this all later around 1 o'clock, the crowd started then to harass officers. The president is still speaking at this point, so clearly these people are not listening to him. This is also when they breached the building's outer...
So see, while the president was still talking at his rally where all the Trump supporters were, this was already going into effect.
Pennsylvania Avenue with the crowd to, quote, peacefully and patriotically make their voices heard.
Now, I could play the whole clip, but it's just an example that the patriots are talking to one another. And we know that the grandmas and the grandpas and the homeschool families, I got a message from one of them that went to the rally, and the good, decent folks. Yes, you can have a cuckoo crazy in any kind of a big crowd, but the real Trump supporters were there talking to the president, and the people that had assembled ahead of time to breach the Capitol. What's their name? Well, it starts with an A and ends with an A, and there's an N and a T and an F in there somewhere. I don't want to say it, the Zuckerberg bots. But folks, I'm just laying that to rest. We all know what happened. It was not Trump people that breached the Capitol. We all know that. So, again, I promised to lay this to rest, and so guess what? I hereby lay it to rest. We know what's going on. All right, I want to talk about 2 executive orders, and I don't want to tease and hang everything to the end. I want to read you the coolest paragraph from the president's September 12th, 2018 executive order, and I'm going to read it to you right now. This is the president's executive order from September 12, 2018, imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election. I'm going to skip over to my favorite paragraph, which would be, well, I'm just going to read the paragraph. Now, listen closely. Nothing in this order shall prevent the head of any agency or any other appropriate official from tendering to the president at any time, through an appropriate channel, any analysis, information, assessment, or evaluation of foreign interference in the United States election. Why is that paragraph so important? Well, it's important because for a lot of folks, this whole executive order thing seemed to be just one more path to victory that didn't pan out. You know how the state legislatures taking authority didn't pan out, how the Supreme Courts of different states unilaterally making election laws when they don't have the authority to and challenging them didn't pan out, how that every single case brought before every court, including the Supreme Court, didn't even get looked at, was dismissed, how it didn't pan out. And this seemed to be one of them. But folks, that's not the case. Now, I want to go back, and for everybody that's not familiar with this order, there are 2 45-day periods in the order. So within 45 days of the election, the Director of National Intelligence, in coordination with other agencies, was to submit a report to the President of the United States. That was December 18th, and December 18th rolled around, and they weren't ready with that report, and it looked like everything was, all hope was lost. Let me show you on a couple of websites how that news was being carried at that time. Okay, so here's Gateway Pundit, and this is dated the December 16th, and Gateway Pundit is a good site, and here's what they said. Update! They're screwing Trump again! DNI notified by career intelligence officials that they will not meet December 18 deadline on foreign threats in 2020 election. Let's go over here to, this is Centipede Nation, but now notice, if you're watching this, look at, that's Radcliffe right there. They make him look like he's a demon or something. They're trying to, so this is casting a very negative light. And here's the headline. DNI report on election threat won't meet December 18 deadline. Massive fight has kicked off within DNI. So the DNI is all in disarray, and there's traitors in the DNI. And okay, and then this is from Natural News, Mike Adams, and he's always got a pretty accurate take. DNI Ratcliffe confirms for foreign interference in elections, deep state desperate to delay the report. December 18th, deadline will be missed. Okay, so here's what's so cool about that paragraph. So yes, that all-important deadline of December 18th, when that report had to be submitted. And I'm not going to mention the news channel that I was watching. I haven't watched them much since then because they just couldn't believe that it didn't happen. And then from there, just a whole string of negativity. I can understand that, but I'm going to read you this paragraph again. Nothing in this order shall prevent the head of any agency or any other appropriate official from tendering to the president at any time through an appropriate channel any analysis, information, assessment, or evaluation of foreign interference in a United States election. The president did not have to have an official report. The president can get that information according to this executive order at any time from any appropriate individual through any appropriate channel. These guys that stonewalled, these career intelligence people that were dragging their feet, all they've done is outed themselves, and the president is in full command of the situation. Now, let's read the second favorite paragraph from Section 9. For those persons whose property and interest in property are blocked, pursuant to this order, who might have a constitutional presence in the United States, I find that because of the ability to transfer funds or other assets instantaneously, prior notice, cooperate with me, mouse, prior notice to such measures to be taken pursuant to this order would render those measures ineffectual. I therefore determined that for these measures to be effective in addressing the national emergency declared in this order, now here we go, there need be no prior notice of a listing or determination made pursuant to Section 2 of this order. So to summarize from these two paragraphs, here's what it means. The president can get the information from anybody at any time, and the president can act on it at any time. In fact, my guess would be he probably already has. And this is not the kind of action where when you seize assets, that this is not preceded by a press release. Folks, there's things going on right now that you and I can't see. We hear little rumblings. And as sometimes happens when I'm putting one of these videos together, there's a piece of breaking news that just came across my desk at least, and that is John Solomon of Just the News is reporting that his FOIA, his Freedom of Information request to the D.C. Capitol Police about the events of January 6th has been flat out denied. They're completely stonewalling, and the reason they're being told is because it has embarrassing details, which leaves the question, and I do not claim to have the answer, but it leaves the question, what did Nancy Pelosi know about that day ahead of time? What did Mitch McConnell know? And here they've rushed into this impeachment based on what is going to come out to be. The rest of the world is going to know what you and I already know, that this was staged, this was planned. We just don't know everybody that's involved on it. All right, I'm going to take a quick breath, and then we're going to look at this next executive order. Folks, the president is not acting as though he is going anywhere anytime soon. Federal Register Executive Order 13959, November 12, 2020, addressing the threat from securities investments that finance communist Chinese military companies. Obviously, there's a lot to read. I'm just going to read these two little sections. Any transaction by a United States person or within the United States that evades or avoids, has the purpose of evading or avoiding, causes a violation of or attempts to violate the prohibitions set forth in this order is prohibited. Any conspiracy formed to violate any of the prohibitions set forth in this order is prohibited. And when did it go into effect? Beginning 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 11, 2021. Why would that executive order go in place Monday of this week? Why would the president even bother with that if he's on his way out? Maybe it's because it's part of the plan. Maybe the president has a plan. Maybe that executive order that was so full of wisdom to allow a loophole around where the higher-ups in the intelligence community actually can't delay a report, or they can delay the report, but it doesn't matter. The information and the actionable intelligence can still get to the president. It's because there's a plan. Folks, there is a plan in place. It is working out. Did the president look shaken at that speech at the Alamo the other day? Speech at the wall? Did he look shaken? Did he look defeated? Did he look downtrodden? Did he look forlorn? No. When he released that video yesterday urging people to be peaceful, urging people to be calm, did he seem shaken? Did he seem scared? No. No, he didn't. There's a plan in place. Everything is under control. We've got to keep the faith, and I'm not so worried about dates. By the way, what date was Abraham Lincoln inaugurated on? Kind of think it was in March. Of course, this isn't Abraham Lincoln's day. It's our day. But we serve the same God, and God has his hand on this nation. And I'm confident that God loves this country, and I'm confident that he's got people that he can work through to save and preserve this country. So please like, please share, please subscribe. Please go to the website and subscribe. And things may be turbulent, but this plane will come in for a happy landing. And we will once again fly through the friendly skies. Till next time, God bless you, God bless your family, God bless the state of Ohio, and God bless the United States of America.